mortgage rates keep rising. There's been a 3.83 percentage point rise in interest rates since the end of last year. That's the biggest year-to-date increase in interest rates in over 50 years. And just doing the straight math, that's a loss of about $150,000 in buyers' purchase power. Although experts indicate or anticipate rates are going to go higher in the coming months, they do believe that much of the rapid increase, like we've seen in the last 6 months, is fortunately, it's behind us. Hi, I'm Phil Martin. I'm the brokerage owner of the Martin Home Team, and this is Market Update for November 2022. Interest rates have been in the front and center in the news lately, and in this month's report, I'm going to recap at a very high level a few of the other economic variables affecting the housing market. And we'll end this report with what this all could mean to you if you are thinking about buying or selling in the coming year. The Fed has raised interest rates to slow spending in general. Rising interest rates have led to inflation, and inflation has led to a reduction in the purchasing power of your money. Remember that loss of $150,000 in the buyer purchasing power due to the rise in interest rates? Well, the effort to slow spending may not only be starting to work, but it may be working a little too well, because the majority of experts now agree that we could be entering a recession coming into 2023. So what's a recession? Well, it's a widespread drop in spending. So we're spending too much, inflation. Now we're spending too little, recession. And a simpler way to put it, sometimes things are better, sometimes things they're not. Inflation and recession are simply the extremes of sometimes better and sometimes not. And extremes are usually not the best place to be. And it looks like we may be pulled between these two extremes for a little bit more, some time to come, right? But housing certainly is a big ticket item for people, and extreme economic swings can really magnify the positive or negative effects to consumers. So here's where we are at. Because of interest rates and inflation, a lot less people are able to buy, right? Less demand. Less buyers or less demand is causing an increased number of homes to sit on the market. That gives us more supply, and it's taking longer to sell. Longer sale times invariably leads to sellers reducing their prices to get their home sold. And for buyers who can afford to buy now, this may mean less competition and more selection. And that's basically what we're saying. Of course, economic issues are absolutely complex, and change is always difficult. But let's keep it to the basics. And here's what the data would suggest. 60% of the homes that are for sale now have had a price decrease just in the last couple of months. But our North Texas market has been so good for so long that even with these price decreases, the majority of homeowners are still sitting on significant equity value in their homes. Many have mortgage rates in the low 2s or 3s. So even though home prices are down, less buyers are buying overall. And because a lot of homeowners have low mortgage rates, they're staying put as well, which is causing the number of homes being placed on the market for sale to begin to level off. And that leveling off coming into next year should take the pressure off homeowners to continue to really reduce their prices, right? So, which, by the way, home prices in general are still higher than pre-pandemic levels by far. So let's show you this, right? Housing supply is still historically low. Overall, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, Morgan Stanley, and all the other usual suspects forecast home prices will continue to moderate somewhat in 2023, and I think we're already seeing that, but begin their increase again in 2024. So is this really a good time to buy? Well, prices are down, it's true, and there's less competition, but interest rates are higher. But here's the thing. right? So are rents. Basically almost 10% year over year rise in Collin County alone. And the only practical alternative to buying, right, is renting. And it's pretty solid knowledge that you'll never build wealth by giving your money to the landlord. So I know of many examples of people who didn't buy a year ago because they were waiting for prices to come down. Well, that happened, but now they're waiting for interest rates to drop. So again, is it a good time to buy? Well, let me show you this. Here's the advice from experts. If you can find a house that is in your financial comfort zone for a monthly mortgage payment, and it's a good time for you to buy, you should consider possibly buying now. Is it a good time to sell? Well, if you can't wait and you have to sell now, then it's a great time to sell. If you can wait, though, consider planning now on a March, April launch to take advantage of seasonal trends in real estate, in the real estate market. And maybe more important is to not only plan now for the home you will sell, but plan now for the home you will need to buy when you sell. In the absence of trustworthy, up-to-date information relative to your personal situation, it can be easy to feel an increase in fear, uncertainty, and doubt when making real estate decisions, because these decisions can be, as you know, hugely consequential to your life. So if more clarity on this subject relative to your personal situation and needs could possibly be helpful, contact the Martin Home Team for a personalized consultation on home buying or selling, and get the clarity and confidence you need when it comes to your next decisions, whatever they may be. This is Phil Martin with the Martin Home Team. Talk soon.